A Saturday evening. A man in his mid-30s sits on a couch. The apartment is quiet. Not the good kind of quiet, the kind that used to have voices in it. He picks up his phone, scrolls through the contacts, dozens of names, and realizes, with a clarity that feels like cold water, that there is not a single person on this list he can call right now just to talk. Not to arrange something, not to ask a favour, just to say, hey, I had a strange week and I do not know what to do with it. He puts the phone down, opens a streaming app, picks something he has already seen, and the evening passes. This is not a dramatic story. There is no villain, no betrayal, no falling out. This is the most common version of male loneliness after 30. And the research says it is an epidemic that almost nobody talks about, because the people experiencing it have been trained for decades not to. In 2021, the Survey Center on American Life published a finding that landed like a quiet bomb. The percentage of American men reporting that they have no close friends had increased fivefold since 1990, from 3% to 15% in 3 decades. Not acquaintances, not colleagues. Close friends, the kind you call when things fall apart. And the data showed a cliff, not a gradual decline. A cliff. Friendships that existed in the 20s, the college roommate, the work crew, the group that went out on Fridays, began dissolving around 28 to 32, not from conflict, from drift. One person gets married, another moves cities. A third has a child and disappears into a schedule that has no margin. Nobody fights, nobody leaves, the friendship just stops being maintained, and without maintenance it dies. Bhattacharya and colleagues mapped this pattern in 2016 and found that the average social network begins contracting sharply around age 25 and does not stop. By 40, most men have lost the majority of their non-family social connections. Now here is the part nobody wants to say. This does not happen equally to men and women. Women lose friends too, but women are significantly more likely to rebuild, to reach out, to maintain long-distance closeness through conversation alone. Men are not, and the reason is not biological laziness. It is a social operating system that was installed early and runs deep. The masculine social code absorbed through fathers, peers, media, and 1,000 invisible signals during adolescence teaches a specific lesson. Male connection is built through activity, not disclosure. You bond by doing things together, not by talking about how you feel. Play sports, work on a project, or go to a bar. The activity is the bridge. Remove the activity and the bridge disappears. Jeffrey Hall's research at the University of Kansas confirmed this. Male friendships are disproportionately activity-based. And the problem with activity-based friendship is structural. When life gets busy, the activities are the first thing that gets cut. The job demands more hours, the relationship needs weekends, the child needs mornings, and one by one the activities and the friendships attached to them fall away. But here is where the neurochemistry makes this sharper. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the neurochemical that reinforces social connection, operates differently in the presence of high testosterone. Shelley Taylor at UCLA proposed the tend and befriend model in 2000. Under stress, the female hormonal system leans towards seeking social connection. Oxytocin rises, cortisol drops through bonding. The male system, shaped by testosterone, leans in the opposite direction. Under stress, the default is withdraw and solve. Handle it alone, fix the problem, do not burden others. This is not a choice men make consciously. It is a neurochemical default that the social code reinforces at every turn. A man feels stressed. His nervous system says, pull back, solve it yourself. Society says, real men handle their problems. The result is a feedback loop that strips social connection precisely when it is needed most. And there are 3 specific shifts that make this almost invisible while it is happening. Shift 1. The definition of friendship narrows. At 22, a friend is someone you see, talk to, share experiences with. By 35, a friend becomes someone you would theoretically call if something happened. The bar lowers so quietly that a man can go years without a genuine personal conversation and still believe he has friends, because the contacts exist, even if the connection does not. Shift 2. Vulnerability gets reclassified as weakness. Every time a man considers reaching out to say I am struggling, the internal filter runs. Will this change how they see me? Will I seem less capable? Will this be used against me later? These are not paranoid thoughts. They are learned predictions, trained by years of watching what happens to men who show cracks. The system teaches keep it together, and keeping it together means keeping it inside. Shift 3. Replacement behaviours fill the gap. The evening that used to be spent with friends becomes an evening with content. Streaming, gaming, scrolling, podcasts. The brain receives just enough social signal. Parasocial relationships, familiar voices, simulated connection. To prevent the alarm from firing. The loneliness is there, but it is numbed, not solved, managed. And the difference between managed loneliness and addressed loneliness is the difference between a painkiller and a cure. So here are 3 steps, not from self-help, from the research. Step 1. Separate the activity from the connection. You do not need a reason to call someone. The habit of needing a pretext, tickets to a game, a project to work on, a reason, is the activity-based model talking. The step is simple and uncomfortable. Call one person this week with no agenda. Say, I was thinking about you, that is it. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that something is wrong. It is the masculine code resisting an update it badly needs. Step 2. Lower the vulnerability threshold by 1 degree. You do not need to confess your deepest fears. You need to say one honest sentence you would normally edit out. Not great, actually. Instead of the automatic fine, that single sentence cracks the performance. And research on reciprocal disclosure shows when one person lowers the shield by 1 notch, the other almost always follows. Step 3. Stop outsourcing connection to content. 1 evening a week, turn off the parasocial input, no podcast voices. No streaming companions. Sit in the silence and let the absence become visible. Not to punish yourself. To let the nervous system register what is actually missing, so the motivation to reach out becomes biological, not just intellectual. This is not about becoming more social. It is not about networking. It is not about collecting people. It is about one thing, being honest about what disappeared, understanding the mechanism that made it disappear, and making one small uncomfortable move in the opposite direction. The man on the couch with the phone, he is not broken. His nervous system ran the program it was given. Withdraw, solve alone, do not burden. And the program worked, until the cost of running it became higher than the cost of changing it. That cost is loneliness. And loneliness, the research is now clear, is not just an emotion. It is a health risk on par with smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The mechanism is mapped. The steps are concrete. The only thing left is the decision. On Friday, people who take everything to heart. Sensitivity has a mechanism, and it is not what most channels tell you. The science goes deeper than high sensitivity. It goes into sensory processing itself.